Yeah. Travel rap. Skin. We go. Travel rap. Yeah. Travel rap. Yeah. It's the Travel Rap Podcast.
What's really good, y'all, and welcome to the Travel Rap Podcast, the place where the art of storytelling meets the world of travel. I am your host, Frank Nitt, and for today's episode, we're doing a special J Dilla edition celebrating Dilla Month and his 50th birthday. And for today's destination, we're going to sunny Los Angeles, California. Now, this story will speak to Dilla's legacy and all the work he did when he was with us, and how it impacts things after him being gone, and just how he's still being discovered and by the greats and different things. It's a crazy story. So here's how it goes. So me and Illa J, Dilla's brother, shout out to Illa J, had a prior meeting set up at a studio on, I want to say a Saturday. It might not have been a Saturday, but just say Saturday, right? So on a Saturday, and a few days before that, I get a phone call from my brother Terrace Martin. Shout out to Terrace Martin, and he says, "Yo, Frank, I'm in the studio and I'm working with Herbie Hancock. That Herbie Hancock, and he would love to hear a few Dilla beats if possible. If you could facilitate him, being able to hear a few. He just want to, hear other things other than what he's already heard, and if you could pull that off, that would be dope." And I said, "Yeah, that would be dope." And so I said, "But you know what? Let me make a phone call, and I'll let you know." So I hang up the phone with him, and I immediately called Ma Dukes. Shout out to Ma Dukes. And she gave me her blessing, said it was okay for me to go and play some beats. So I called him back, and he says, "Okay, dope. You coming? That's amazing. It's on Saturday," which happens to be the same day that me and Illa gotta link up and go to the studio. So I said, "Okay, bet. We're gonna come through there." So fast forward to the Saturday, me and Illa go to our little situation, and it's time to go over to the studio to play these beats for Herbie Hancock, for Mr. Herbie Hancock, right? So I get an address, and in my mind, I'm expecting we going to the studio. So we get in the car and we go to this location, and it's a beautiful gated home. We're at Mr. Herbie's home. It's whoa, okay, but you go into Mr. Herbie's home, and it's a whole studio. It's a it's a studio. It's not a home. It's it's a studio. It's serious business, right? So anyway, so we get there, and they have somebody meet us at the gate, and that person escorts us in to the studio, and we go into the studio, and as we're walking in, it's Terrace is sitting there, and Mr. Hancock is sitting right next to him, and they're discussing the new machine had just came out, the beat machine. For those who are not familiar, it's a drum machine. So they were discussing the new machine and all the function and the things they could do. And to my surprise, for whatever reason, you would think that Terrace, being the younger guy, would be explaining this to Mr. Herbie, who's the older musician, and this is the newer technology and whatever. But no, Mr. Herbie was explaining it to Terrace. He was telling him, "Yo, he could do this and do that," because he had it and messed with it and been working with it already. So that was step one. Blown away. Okay, so Herbie Hancock is literally just like one of us. He trying new stuff and doing all the stuff. So okay, that starts it, right? So we get in the room. It's me, Illa, Terrace, Mr. Hancock, a few other people, and just shooting the shit. Amazing conversation about music and just crazy. And he got like some of the older equipment that he used, stuff from Rocket and different synthesizers, and just craziness, right? So we get to the point where it's time to play some Dilla beats. And I start playing beats, and we all head down rocking in the room, and it's one beat that's playing that I've heard I don't know how many times, right? But it's playing, and Herbie says, "Hey man, y'all hear that?" And you know, I look around the room and everybody looking at each other like, what? Hear what? And he said, you don't hear that bass line, the other thing he got under there? You're like, what? And when I tell you this man was facing me, like I'm facing you right now, he was facing me. And he reached over behind him to his keyboard. He ain't look, he looking at us. And started playing this bass line that's playing in the Dilla beat that I had never heard, even though I heard this beat 100 times. One hand, not even looking, and just playing it. You hear that? I said, oh. And I could hear it. It was there. And Illa can vouch for this. Terrace can vouch for this. And I mean, I'm sure Terrace has seen it 100 times. But man, like, it was just like, it was driven by something else. That arm just reached back and he said, you don't hear that? Yeah, that's amazing. That guy was on something else. Like, so for me, bro, here we are all these years later since my man passed away, and his music is still able to not only impact, you know, non-musicians and just listeners or whatever, but the greats, the super accomplished ones can still find greatness in it, which is crazy to me. And then on top of that, again, he's not here. It allows me to walk in and shake hands with the greats and get exposed to that and see these different things. So, you know, my man ain't here, but he here. It's crazy. It's crazy how it continues to go off the work and the effort and all the blood, sweat, and tears that he put into it. So, you know, I appreciate him even today. I appreciate him. He ain't here, and I appreciate him even more because he's still walking me through doors, if that makes any sense. So, man, shout out to J Dilla, man. Shout out to Mr. Hancock, Terrace Martin, my brother Illa J. Travel Rap Podcast, Dilla Month. Y'all know what it is. Peace.
Yeah. Travel rap, skin, go. Travel rap, yeah. Travel rap, yeah. It's the Travel Rap Podcast.